Guys, welcome to the NBA. Brand new show here on Sports Static. Joe, how are you feeling tonight in the hood? Our second basketball show. Joe, what's going on with you, my friend?
Hey, you know I love this show, John. I'm excited to talk basketball, and those Lakers are looking good, man.
The Lakers are looking good. I mean, I'll tell you what. Talk about how could you not think, first and foremost, Joe, how could anybody not think that LeBron James is not the ship high in transit? How could you not think that, Joe?
You know, it's funny because he didn't make the playoffs last season, and they're all like, oh, he's washed up, old LeBron. Look, this guy's going to win it, the MVP, his fifth MVP this season. He has Anthony Davis, probably the best teammate he's ever had, right next to Dwayne Wade. So I think the Lakers are going to be great.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you. And just watching the way that Anthony Davis and LeBron James are playing off of each other is incredible. I mean, LeBron James as a point guard, I mean, It's just, I mean, wow. I mean, is that incredible or what?
It's incredible. The guy can play any position on the floor, can defend any position on the floor. In his 17th season, John, I mean, the guy is ridiculous. So I think LeBron James gets the MVP this year. He's almost averaging a triple-double, which is incredible on its own. I don't think he's going to be running point guard as much, though, because I think Rondo will be coming back. And they also have Avery Bradley playing the point guard as well. But, you know, LeBron can play any position.
Isn't that interesting, though, when you're saying that, is that you almost wonder about that chemistry of when he comes back, Rondo comes back, on where LeBron is. Because, you know, we've seen it in all the years with LeBron James is that, and Joe, you see it, is that it's like LeBron will say, okay, I'm not playing point guard at this point in the game, but then at the end of the game when something has to happen, and then all of a sudden you see LeBron back at point guard. So it almost makes you wonder how that's going to work out. You know what I mean, Joe?
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but I think it's going to work out fine because Rondo's a veteran, experienced guy, won a championship with the Boston Celtics. I think maybe Rondo could start or he comes off the bench. Either way, I think they do great. I don't think the chemistry is really going to be broken much, to be completely honest with you.
Well, that's what, I mean, I'm hoping for, and obviously the Lakers are hoping for. So what do you think as far as the chances go if we start talking about, you know what I said on the last show, Joe? What I said on the last show was Houston Rockets. And, Joe, you looked at me like I was crazy, Joe.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, have the Houston Rockets done, that great right now? I mean, I could check their record, John, and I don't think it is as great as you say.
I mean, and that's at it. That I'm not saying that their record is so great right now. But go ahead, Joe.
Well, they're 5-3.
5-3 is not shabby.
No, it's not bad. They're sitting at the 7th seed. The only reason I just don't think ISO ball gets you a championship. That's the only reason. I don't think Russell Westbrook and James Harden, I don't think they can work together because they both need the ball in their hands, and it's a stagnant offense. There's no movement. I don't think that could probably get you playoffs, but it can't get you a championship, I don't think.
I mean, I was really hoping that we would see some defense. You know what I mean, Joe? I was really hoping we'd see some damn defense with this Houston Rockets, and that they would find the way to make this happen and work together, Joe, because, I mean, they're two dominant players, really. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Two dominant players on that team. I'm still expecting them to be in the playoffs, Joe. I'm still expecting them to be in the playoffs, and that's a factor in itself, Joe.
Oh, I think they're going to be in the playoffs, and I think they're going to make a run in the playoffs. Harden doesn't play any defense. You can't even call him Harden anymore. Remove the D, call him Harden, because he doesn't play any D.
And, Joe, you're 100% right. Harden does not really play any D, but he puts in enough offense
Oh,
to
yeah.
make up for that. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He puts in enough. So, Joe, what do you think when George is healthy with the Clippers? And then, with that being said, now, because right now, I'm just letting you know right now, the Lakers are the team right now. Everybody's saying, and how many games are we in? And we're actually saying this, Joe. How many games are we in that we're actually saying this? But we are saying it, Joe.
Yeah, we're in 7-8 games right now. So, I mean, man, the Clippers have a lot of talent. They're definitely built to win the whole thing. But the Lakers, it's either going to be it's definitely between the Clippers and the Lakers in the West. So we're going to have to see.
All right, so you're right. With that being said, Clippers, Lakers, and that's where we stand right now with what we're seeing, Joe. And anything can happen. 82-game season, guys, is the major problem of what the problem is that it's actually an 82-game season. That makes it very, very tough. One thing I got to make sure of that I did not do, and I'm going to do it right now. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome. For whatever technical problem we had, we did not go live on Facebook. We were live on YouTube, but we did not go live on Facebook. So I want to welcome everybody from Facebook now. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you being here, and I'm sorry we weren't there, but we're here now. So Joe, let's welcome everybody in to the show.
Hey.
Guys, welcome to some NBA Around the League talk. Sorry we missed up with you guys on that one. And basically, I'll tell you what happened right now is that we had a little glitch with Facebook. We were live for a couple minutes, and we missed you. Joe, one more time back at you. Welcome to the second show of our new program, the NBA.
Yeah. Hey, for those of you who missed it, we're just talking about how the West is going to be run by the Lakers and the Clippers, and I can't wait for the playoffs. Also, the Houston Rockets are going to make a playoff run, so we're going to have to see what happens.
Yeah, the Houston Rockets, I mean, you know, guys, Houston Rockets don't play defense. They need to play some damn D, and they don't. But more interesting what everybody's talking about is that relationship. We already know they're friends. We know Harden has a new buddy on his team. Joe, does he not have a new buddy on his team?
That would be Russell Westbrook.
Mr. Russell Westbrook, who is kind of, it's common in his game to average triple-doubles. Now, what's going to happen when he's over here with the Houston Rockets, Joe?
Hey, man, you know, I think Russell Westbrook's going to put up great numbers, but the isolation game from Westbrook and Harden, I just don't think it's going to work out. There's no movement on that team. They don't play much defense, so it's going to be hard for them in the playoffs.
It is going to be hard for them in the playoffs, and I think probably what makes it even a little bit more difficult is some of the teams that they're going to have to face, and that being the Lakers, one LeBron James, Anthony Davis duo right there, and then, of course, when you go over to the same arena, different name, the Clippers with the champion head coach Doc Rivers over there coaching. Look what you got there when George becomes healthy, and you got Kawhi Leonard, that duo right there. So the Kawhi Leonard and George, or the LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or Harden, Westbrook. Joe, talk to me.
Hey, I love these duos. I mean, it's incredible. LeBron James and Anthony Davis is a great forward and a center. You know, it's a great matchup, that duo that they have. Houston, I like the duo. They put up great numbers, Harden and Westbrook. Little too much isolation for my liking. And then you have the other team in the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Both of them are great defenders and great scorers. So it's like, pick your poison. But I like that Lakers, man. I mean, I like the Lakers and the Clippers. I think the Clippers are a little bit more stacked than those other teams, though.
Well, what it is, Joe, about it is the fact that you just mentioned it. It's the defense. And when you have a strong defense, we already know last year you take one Kawhi Leonard and you take him into Canada, Toronto, and he wins the country. The country. An NBA title. And then he goes to L.A. just like he said he wanted to go to L.A. He didn't say Lakers. He said L.A. Here he is with George. While we're on the subject, Joe, tell me what you think as far as you have a nationally viewed game and Mr. Kawhi Leonard sits out, so some of these kids in the seats don't get to see Kawhi play because load management, Joe?
Yeah, I don't really believe in load management. I mean, it's only the 8th game. That's kind of ridiculous. The Clippers organization got fined $50,000, and rightfully.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Hang on a second. That's breaking news to me because I was listening to sports radio for hours today, and I didn't get that one, so it must have been when I got off of the damn sports radio. Did the Clippers get fined $50,000, Joe?
Yes, they did.
That's setting a precedent right there, Joe. So all sports was talking about is what was actually happening, what's going to happen to the NBA. This is going to end up affecting when they go into these trade talks now, okay, and they get into these trade talks with the NBA, that this is going to affect the salaries of these NBA players, and maybe not so much of the ones that can make millions of dollars selling tennis shoes, T-shirts, selling cars, or insurance for that matter. But some of these other guys, that aren't making millions of dollars when they're off of the court, it is going to affect, because when you start messing with a primetime basketball game and you sit someone with load management, you're missing the factor of what this is all about, Joe.
Definitely. I mean, the kids, they actually did an interview after the game, and they were like, oh, are you mad that Kawhi Leonard didn't play? And all the fans were like, yeah, we were very disappointed, and I'd be disappointed too to see one of the best players in the NBA not play. That's why the fans pay for the tickets. So
it is my pleasure to welcome Ian to the basketball show. It is an extreme pleasure. Ian, welcome to the basketball show, man. So right away, Ian, this is going to be a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Ian is saying Lakers and Clippers who? There ain't no battle for L.A. L.A. is purple and gold.
Yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, my friend. Ian says the Clippers need to return to San Diego or Buffalo. Maybe they should go to Buffalo. Paul George is from where I live, the Antelope Valley. The Antelope Valley? I've never even heard of the Antelope Valley. Joe, have you heard of the Antelope Valley?
No, but I'd like to go. I don't even think I've ever seen an antelope.
Ian, is that Colorado, the Antelope Valley? And if it is, what is the nearest city? Tell me where that's at. You got my attention on that one right now. So anyway, Joe.
Yep.
What is crazy about what we're talking about right now, NBA? You want to know what's crazy about it, Joe?
What's that?
We talked about, right now, some crazy duos. You have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Harden, Westbrook. That's what's crazy to me, Joe. Has anybody brought up the Golden State Warriors?
Look,
and where the hell did they go?
That team's done. I mean, Steph Curry breaks his hand, probably going to sit out the season, to be completely honest with you. D'Angelo Russell, he'll be traded next season. They're in a rebuild process. I would literally tank and try to get somebody really good in the draft.
Oh, you're going way out there now.
I mean, I don't think they make the playoffs even with Curry, to be honest with you. I mean, the West is stacked. We have San Antonio at the 8th seed. I mean, come on.
I just don't think Curry can stay healthy.
Nope.
Like I didn't think that Durant could, And, Joe, I'll tell you this right now. You know as well as I do, I called Durant going down last year, and I said that would be the reason why that the Golden State Warriors didn't win the championship. They would not win because they wouldn't have Durant. And I know for a fact what Mr. Smiles Big Mouth did when he got into Durant's face last year and said, "We don't need your ass. Go home." Are you familiar with what I'm talking about, Joe?
Yeah, Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, and how'd that work out?
Oh, well, KD left.
Well, guess what? Draymond, you don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
And guess what? You don't have anybody else either, my friend.
Right.
Some out of you, I said, huh? Some out of you. Huh, tough guy? Now look at you, huh?
Yep.
Now look at you. Huh? So stupid man, you. Huh? Ataro, but you know this, okay? Now look at you, huh? So, Joe, it looks like he got his dream. Is he going to be a MVP over there?
Oh, KD?
No.
Oh, Draymond? I mean, might as well be. I don't think he'll be MVP on a 2-6 team, though.
Ouch. So, guys, just looking about this, and now, Joe, first, before we switch over to the East, Joe, okay?
Yeah.
Before we switch over to the East, let's just break this down real quick, okay? And I'll go ahead here real quick, and I'll throw this up for you guys. Check it out, okay? Look at this. Lakers are sitting at 6-1. The Dallas Mavericks at 5-2. The Denver Nuggets. And, Joe, I'll tell you right now, Joe, that I'm telling you, I don't think the Nuggets are going to fare off too bad this year, Joe.
I think the Nuggets are really good. Jokic and Jamal Murray. You have duos in like every
Isn't
single
it
team.
Crazy?
Look at Dallas. Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis.
Joe, how refreshing is this right now that we're not just sitting there saying nothing matters? The Golden State Warriors are going to the finals. Joe, how refreshing is this right now? And, Joe, I don't want to put the hex on anybody, but an injury here, an injury there to any team changes the whole dynamic in the West.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much, John, that the Warriors are not going to be in the finals this year.
The Golden State Warriors, actually strange to say. Guys, I understand we're 7 games in, okay, but Golden State Warriors are in 13th place right now. They've won 2 and lost 6, okay? And with that being said, guys, think about how important that is when they are 1-4 at home. And if that doesn't say it to you, Joe, what would?
Right, and we're going to actually see how Steve Kerr does coaching a team that doesn't have the most talent in the NBA.
Hello! He said it. He said it right there. Guys, I'm flipping back over to the schedule. What I want to do is look at this right here. Houston Rockets are 5-3, and we want to write them off already, Joe. And we want to write them off, and what we want to do is we want to say that Russell Westbrook and Harden can't work together, and they can't make this work. They're 5-3, Joe, and they're 3-1 at home, okay, and they're 2-2 on the road, Joe.
I mean, look, they also have different people. They also have Eric Gordon, who's really good. Clint Capella, he's good. I mean, they have other pieces as well. I mean, they definitely make the playoffs. This is a playoff team. I just don't think they make the finals with the Lakers and the Clippers and the Nuggets.
Right.
I mean, this conference is loaded.
With each one of these teams, we're talking about staying healthy, and they have the players that they have intended to be on the court in the playoffs. When I say that, I mean, of course, the stars, the duos we're talking about. With the Houston Rockets, you're talking about Harden, okay? And you're talking about, drawing a blank, Westbrook. Harden and Westbrook with the Rockets. There's the duo. The Lakers, James and Davis. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and George. With the duos we're talking about in the West, Joe, and I know we're 7-8 games in. Joe, tell me right now who you see coming out of the West. I know it's early, Joe, but I want to know, Joe.
I'm going LA Lakers. I don't doubt LeBron James. I think he's the best player to ever touch a basketball. L.A. Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
And I do too, and everybody wrote LeBron James off and said he was old. And I don't know if it's because his headband fell off and you saw bald spots or whatever you did. But let's not forget, for 14 years in a row into the playoffs, 8 years in a row to the finals. Did you guys freaking lose your marbles? Did you absolutely lose your freaking mind and forget who we're talking about here? Prior to last year, for the last 8 years in a row, I ain't talking about the dominance of the Golden State Warriors. I'm talking about for the last 8 years in a row, prior to last year, you saw LeBron James in the finals with who? Nobodies. With nobodies. So how in the world could anybody not think this is essentially a Peyton Manning? This is essentially the best quarterback you've seen, the one that changed the game with the audibles at the line of scrimmage. This is a quarterback playing basketball, and the good one, reading defenses, a 6'8", 270-pound point guard playing with now Anthony Davis. How in the hell could they not be favored, Joe?
It's honestly ridiculous. But they should be favored, to be honest. I know the Clippers team is stacked, but I would go with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like you just said, make the finals 8 straight times. He's a great, great player. He'll be on the Mount Rushmore. Look, I'm taking the LA Lakers all day.
I mean, and how in the hell you couldn't? Who knows? But, Joe, I'm glad you and I agree on this because, hey, it's not about anything with a bandwagon or anything, guys. What it is the fact that you are recognizing that LeBron James is the best player in the world, okay? And I'm not, guys, think about what I'm saying when I say that. There's never been a player as dominant as he is that can take nobody's to the finals 8 years in a row. I'm not dissing a Bosh or a Dwayne Wade. We know Dwayne Wade wasn't at the top of his games through some of that stuff. That's why they brought LeBron there, okay? I'm not dissing some of the guys from the Cleveland Cavaliers either. I'm not. But there's a huge difference between LeBron James and the second best player on any one of those teams, Joe.
I completely agree, John. I mean, LeBron James, as I said, I think he's the best player ever. He could guard any position, play any position. His IQ's through the roof. He doesn't score as much as other players because he gets other players involved and he makes other players better, which I believe makes you great. So
that's how you win at the end, Joe, because you got those other guys that are in on the game plan. They're part of the team, and they're a little bit cooler when it comes to those situations because they've made these plays throughout the season, and that's why he involves everybody. He's not going to take the game over unless he has to and is drinking enough Gatorade so we don't see some of them leg cramps he's famous for as well. Make sure you're drinking Body Armor. Forget the Gatorade anymore, okay?
Body Armor.
Drink Body Armor, guys. Ian saying, being in Tampa Bay, is Orlando considered the home team for us? Yeah, we are. Our show is based out of Tampa Bay. Yes, you could consider our home team, but I will tell you, Ian, I have been known to drive to Miami. If it's a Florida team, it's a good team. I have driven to Miami. The first time I went to Miami to see a Miami game, I went strictly to see Shaq,
wow.
the big Diesel, Superman, the original Superman. Okay, I went to see Shaq play. I went to Orlando to see Kobe Bryant play. You know what? To me, when I go to games, it's about seeing those matchups. The first time I saw LeBron play was in Orlando, his rookie year. And I was like, whoa. I'll tell you right there, right now. The first time I saw LeBron James play his rookie year was against the Magic, and he sprinted down and dunked it, okay? This was like, and right then the whole place, the look on everybody's faces was like they just actually crapped their pants. Everybody stood up and everybody was just sitting there at the game. And remember, this was a 18 or 19-year-old LeBron James, and everybody was just like, and it didn't, and that was the first time he did in that game, and it didn't stop there. You were looking at this kid that was like handling these men like little boys. And right then I was like, wow, this guy's all about the hype, Joe.
Yeah, he is. Miami's looking good though. I mean, in that Eastern Conference, they're the 3 seed, 5-2. The one guy I want you to look at and keep an eye on, Tyler Hero. I saw him play in high school. He's different. He's a great scorer. He'll be really good in this league.
Absolutely. So Ian's basically saying he's a LeBron James hater. I feel he's not a true Lakers, but I'll take all the victories. Hey, I'm going to tell you what you got when you got LeBron James on a Laker. You've got a competitive guy who's going to push his team to be the best they can for one goal and one goal only, and that is to bring a championship to the Lakers. So he's a Laker right now. I mean, he's got property there for quite some time now. He's a Laker now, and I know you're thinking that he's not a true Laker because he grew up, he was a Cleveland kid. But hey, I admire what he's done. I admire the fact that he forced, okay? And Ian, check this out is what I like about this, Ian. LeBron James forced the owner's hand, Gilbert, in Cleveland to step up and spend money for a championship. And I guarantee LeBron says, hey, I'll get you a championship, but damn it, you got to put some players beside me. So LeBron James left Cleveland and showed the owner of Cleveland what happens when you put talent around him. 2 NBA championships in a row later, LeBron came home, obviously with a conversation with the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who then listened to LeBron, put the talent around him, and Cleveland got a championship. And what a series that was. If you're an NBA fan, you enjoyed watching that Golden State Warriors series with Cleveland Cavaliers, and the way that the Cleveland Cavaliers came back to win that championship was epic. You don't have to be a LeBron James to like the way that went down, Joe. And so, Joe, I admire him for that.
That was the best series I've ever seen in my life.
Incredible.
I mean, for them to come back, everyone was like, no, they'll never come back. And then, I mean, they pulled off a miracle.
I can't say the best one I've ever watched in my life.
In my lifetime.
Because I'm a Detroit guy.
Yeah.
I grew up in Detroit with the Detroit Bad Boys through that era with Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Joey Dumars, Vinny the Microwave Johnson, John Sally, the Worm, Dennis Rodman. I grew up watching those guys take down Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls. So I've seen some, and the Lakers, for that matter.
Right.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers. So, man, those were, Joe, those were exciting NBA days, I got to tell you right now.
I bet they were. I mean, I've seen some of the highlights. Only if I was around during that time.
So he's basically, that's how we feel about it. Anyway, Joe, we're going to wrap up the East real quick and get the hell out of here so we can go watch some Thursday night football and get our hot wings. So with that being said, Joe, let's go ahead now and take a look over at the East and see where we're standing. Because unfortunately, since LeBron's left the East, and here we go again. It kind of lets you know what the dominant force is, Joe, with the leagues and stuff. But anyway, we'll go through that. A little surprising right now to me when I'm sitting there, but not when you think about who's actually not playing. But guess who's in first place, Joe?
The Celtics.
The Celtics are in first place, Joe, which blows my mind. The Celtics are in first place at 5-1, Joe, and then you got you got the Milwaukee Bucks. Talk to me, Joe.
I think the Milwaukee Bucks win the Eastern Conference. To be honest, Giannis is a beast. Giannis is a monster. Bledsoe, this is a really tall and very long team. Very good defense. So I think Milwaukee Bucks win the Eastern Conference. Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker's really good. They do have Gordon Hayward. They have everyone. Enes Kanter. They have some pieces. And then surprisingly, the Miami Heat. I mean, Miami Heat came out of nowhere. to be honest. So I want to be going to some Miami Heat games.
We'll have to make a trip to Miami, and that basically is all there is to it. I'm going to list off something. Hell, I'll put it up here for you guys, and you can watch it with me. Let's go from the bottom up here, just to bring it from the backside here. New York Knicks, not surprising to anybody there. Orlando Magic, you get my drift, Ian? Orlando Magic. Cleveland Cavaliers, that's surprising. Not. Washington Wizards, not so much so. Chicago Bulls, not so much so. Brooklyn Nets, I'm sorry. Brooklyn, I have to tell you guys right now, and I'm going to say this right now, Joe, and see how you feel about this. I have a feeling there's not going to be a good marriage in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving. I just don't think that.
I agree with you because, I mean, Kyrie's kind of weird. It's like, okay, you go with LeBron, you leave LeBron, you take over the Boston Celtics, it's your team, and then you go with KD. It might be the same situation. I probably agree with you, John. It's probably going to be the same situation.
Joe, I'm glad you said it, and I didn't have to, but I'll agree with you. He is kind of weird. I don't know another way to say it because I can't get a good read on him. I think he's a little bit of a mixed up on what his role and what he wants to actually be on a team, and I don't know what to say. I don't know if to call him weird or if to call him a prima donna baby or what to call him, but I think he's a little mixed up on what he wants his role to be on a team. And I just don't know, Joe.
Hey,
I don't know if he can hang out long enough until he gets KD back.
I don't know, man. But to be honest, I'm going to make the bold prediction right now, and I'm going to say the Brooklyn Nets because I think Kyrie's great.
He is.
I think he's great. I think they get the 8th seed.
Okay. That is bold, Joe.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your enthusiasm. They could turn it around if Kyrie, if it's out there that look, we're not getting KD this year, okay, guys? We're going to get him next year. Let's learn to play together as a team this year, and let's have a great Brooklyn team, okay, for next year with a healthy KD, a healthy Kyrie, and a bunch of players that have learned to play together, and getting next year one of the best players, if healthy, in the NBA, and that being KD. Think about that, Joe.
Hey, when they get KD back, this is a playoff team, a deep run playoff team, could be a championship team. I think they need more pieces, though.
Joe, coming out of the East to face those Lakers. Talk to me, Joe. Coming out of the East to face those Lakers. I know we're early on, Joe, but I got to hear it from you.
The Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis is going to face the LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the finals.
I agree with you, and I think he's going to develop a jump shot. I think you need to use Giannis posting up, man. Go old school NBA. Post him up is what I want to see. Joe, your final thoughts with this week's Thursday NBA show, Joe.
Hey, I love doing the NBA show, John. My final thoughts are, look, Milwaukee Bucks are coming out of the East, facing the LA Lakers in the finals. It's going to be Giannis against LeBron. I can't wait for it.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm actually so glad that you said Giannis against LeBron. And with that being said, I'll say this. That being said, I would take the Lakers to win it all. Healthy, guys. Little asterisk beside it because, Joe, that means that everybody's healthy.
Right. Definitely.
Guys, from sports static to you, and that's what this is about. This is you, the fans, to us, the fans, and then we're throwing it back at them. Joe, throw it back at them. Joe, I will see you for our Sunday football show, 10:30 a.m., the Sunday football show, Joe.
Sounds good.
Enjoy yourself, my friend. Guys, if you have not yet joined us on our Sunday 10:30 a.m. football show, we will see you there. Everybody enjoy your Thursday evening. If you like the NBA show, we'll see you next Thursday at 8:45 p.m. every Thursday for our NBA show. Enjoy yourself, guys.